basically this transition has three concepts. There's going to be a loop, there's going to be a single cue, and then there's going to be some finger drumming that leads into the transition, blending the two tracks. The reason this is so hard is because both tracks are at a very fast pace of 135 BPM, and you need to be able to finger drum quarter notes at that tempo, which is very challenging to do on time. I'm going to show you my best attempt, and I want to see you guys post yours below. You can use the hashtag DJEZ Transition Challenge. He pronounces EZ. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to do this. If you watch Carlo Accondito's tutorial, he'll show you the beginner way. He uses special hot cues and editing to eliminate the finger drumming, but we're going to leave that portion in. The only portion we're going to skip is setting the beat loop. We already have the track edited, so once it hits a certain point, it just loops until the track runs out. Once that loop begins, we'll start doing our finger drumming. We'll make the transition easy as can. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try and explain this now. Basically, I've got a playlist of two songs. The first song that says Battle, I'm going to go ahead and put that on deck 1. Yeah. And the second song, called All I Do, we'll put that on deck 2. So I'm going to start fresh. I loaded the songs up onto deck 1, deck 2. Check out the elephant head logo. Finally got that going. Also, check out DJ Sterling swag, now available. Check in the description below or leave a comment if you're interested in some. Also, shout out to my soon-to-be 100th subscriber. You will get some free swag from me. I'm currently at 85 subs. As soon as I hit 100 subscribers, you will get a lanyard, a bottle opener, and I'll send you a couple of these cool bracelets as well. I have all kinds of different colors, and they all have a secret message inside, or a website, or something is inside the band, which you'll have to see when you get one. So here's how we're going to set this up. On the first track, you'll see it starts, it's kind of quiet, then there's some tall waves in this waveform. That's some vocals, and then eventually we get to the start of a loop right about here. And this is just a long loop all the way until the end. And so I'm just going to click on that and kind of play it until we get there. And I'm going to set a hot cue at the beginning of that loop just as a visual aid. When I'm practicing, I see certain cues, and it helps me to know when to do something. It's just a visual cue. I'm not actually going to press any extra buttons when that cue passes. So give some volume. We're on filter. This is the Denon Prime 4 controller. I will give you one advanced warning. On these bigger controllers, especially the Denon ones, the tempo fader has some resistance, which is something I absolutely love, except on transitions like this, because what I'm going to be doing, I feel like I'm almost beating on the unit, is I'm going to be whacking this tempo fader up and down really hard, because that's what the transition calls for. And this is much easier to perform on a controller such as the Denon, no, not the Denon, the DDJ 400 or the SB3. They have much smaller tempo faders, so whacking this thing up and down really quick is super duper easy because there's no resistance virtually, and the travel is much shorter. So just be warned about that. And so yeah, let's get started. That's the loop. So this is the deck on my right, deck 2. This is where I'm going to be making the transition to. It's important to turn off key lock, because when we move this tempo fader with key lock on, that allows you to adjust the tempo of the track. You can change the BPM up or down without changing the pitch of the song. The audio key stays the same. And so that's important to disable, because we want to use this as like a pitch bend, essentially, which you'll see soon. And so this track, this deck here, this doesn't matter. I have it on, that's fine. And so let's go back to setting that cue. Maybe somewhere in here. So this is kind of a lead-in for me. I hear the spirit, that's a lead-in, and then I know the loop is about to start. Loop, start, here, boom, 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 boom. That's where the loop starts. So I'm actually good with that cue because when I go to start it, that's what I'll press. I'll hop right to this. And I'm good there. Now, this side's good to go. Basically, I just needed a place to jump into the track. You know, if you watch the video of DJ EZ, he plays it from some other point, probably closer to the beginning. He transitions into it. That's fine. But I just want to show you guys this transition. And so I'm kind of hopping right into part of the middle. Again, I'm going to skip through the loop because this track is already edited to loop for me. And so if you watch the video of EZ, that's the first thing he does is he goes and he hits a loop. It's a very short loop. And then he begins the work over here, which I'm going to show you next. We're going to play through some of this track here. Okay. And this is how it starts off. Great, don't care. The part we want is kind of right there in the middle, right where it starts to say, baby. That's where you want to start the cue. Right here. That's where it starts. So I look at this and I'm going to set, not exactly on it, but just a hair ahead is where I set my cue. And that way I'm guaranteed as soon as I hit the hot cue, there's sound and there's not a lag. That's it. This is your setup. And so basically I break this transition down into 4 different parts. So let's get that started. Let's start back from here. Bum, 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 bum. You take the filter and you turn it down just a hair to like 10 o'clock. That's all you need to do. And then as soon as you're ready on time, you can start the finger drumming. And so first watch the video of EZ and how he does this. And then I'm going to break it down too. So basically on this side, your key lock is off. All your mixer knobs for this channel are 12 o'clock. Your volume fader is all the way up. And I have my cue set. DJ EZ again does this with just the cue button here because he's on a CDJ. However, since I'm on a controller and these performance pads are meant for exactly this, drumming sequences and patterns, you know, pretty quickly with the good feel and feedback, that's what I'm gonna do. And so you gotta hit the quarter notes. And so again, we're moving at 135 BPM. It's very fast. And so to show you this for now, I'm gonna slow this down about 121 BPM. And I'll show you this pattern. So let me give you some tips on how to drum really fast on these performance pads. These 8 buttons here are performance pads. You can use the cue, but it's really hard because it's clickier and it doesn't have as good a feel. But these performance pads are literally meant for just that, for you to, you know, tap on time and be responsive and very predictable in how they feel. So if you have hot cues like these performance pads available on your controller, I highly suggest you use those. If not, use the cue. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's the first sequence and the second sequence. It's the same thing twice. So a little faster, it looks like this. I'm gonna try and keep my arm out the way here so you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And a little faster. And that's it. And sometimes you might accidentally hit another cue, and that's perfectly fine. Since you're not playing, you're not going to trigger any other sounds. I do that all the time. I'll be drumming and just accidentally hit a bunch of buttons. That's okay. So that's the first sequence. You do it again, that's the repeat. Sequence 3, it's kind of like a freestyle. Every time I do it, I feel like it sounds differently. And it's just somewhere you can really improvise, and almost no matter how you do it, it's going to sound pretty much the same. But here's the tone that I kind of hear in my head and try to repeat. Yeah, so, you know, kind of do what you want there. It almost doesn't matter. Just do a little freestyle. Just make sure you're drumming on key, on time rather, and you'll be fine. So here's the last sequence. You're gonna kind of oscillate a little faster and slow up on the button pressing. Instead of quarter notes, it's just on the note now. And then you're gonna, at the very end, you're gonna take the tempo fader from the bottom and slowly bring it to neutral. So watch this combo. With the tempo fader down, and then you can hit the play button, and on your first channel you slam the fader down, turn it off, you made your transition. And so here's the way that last part sounds. So I'm gonna do this super duper slow. It's gonna sound really weird because I have this track slowed down. Instead of 135 BPM, it's 121. But here's the gist of it, broken down. And again, the BPMs are totally different, so it sounds a little bit weird. And yeah, thanks for watching. I challenge you to do this same transition. Let's see your best attempt. I think I hit it about 80-90% good. Now your soul, it could be lost, spirit that got lost, and now your soul, it could be lost, Cool. DJ Sterling, thanks for watching. Peace.